Okay guys, next video in our series is graduation. Now, what is graduation, you may ask? Basically, the best way to explain graduation is you build weight using elevation, okay? So graduation, the shortest form of graduation, fading, going from a short length to a longer length. That is basically graduation, guys, okay? So there's a couple of different aspects of graduation which you can do. Now, block graduation, which would be instead of on the head, you would bring everything square and cut the graduation through there, through your fingertips, nice and tight to the head. Now, the reason why you would do that, if for example, you were doing a nice square shape on top and you wanted to just do a little bit of scissor work on the sides, keep it nice and tight to the head, that is when you would use block graduation. Now, another aspect of graduation is diagonal back. So basically, diagonal back is you see these slicker looks coming back off the head. I'll just show you David's now. Even this one, just where it's coming back. So your sectioning would be diagonal back. You would actually section the head and cut in this direction the whole way back. Now what that does, obviously, if you cut it back, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to style the hair. It also brings everything back on the sides and it'll sit nice and tight to the head also. It gives it that softer look. So if you're ever wondering how we get that look on a mannequin head or on clients, that is how we're doing diagonal back, making it real nice soft graduation. Now, the other approach you can do to graduation, which can sometimes be very successful also, is diagonal forward. So if I wanted to get all of this hair on the side panel moving forward, very similar to my hair. So you'll see through this side, see how my hair is moving forward and I've got my fringe sweeping across. That has been cut using diagonal forward and it's opening up my face. These are the certain aspects of graduation which you can do as well. Okay guys, so diagonal back graduation. So as you can see, I've just sectioned the top away from the sides and the back. Now, when we're first doing graduation, everyone always says, where do you start from? Where do you start from? So my biggest thing is, I always want to start with the client's head tilted. So tilted away from me. Now the reason why I tilt that away from me is when I'm doing my sectioning and my graduation, everything is going to be in favor of myself. I know full well my body position, everything like that is perfect. So if I swing it around here, you look from that angle, you'll see I've got the rest of my hair here. If I want to, again, I can clip that out of the way. I'm just going to scoop underneath. Now again, if you want to, you can take a section through there and take that away as well. But I'm going to utilize this and show you what you could do if you were doing a taper, for example, okay? So you'll see, if you come from there, you'll see my fingers are pointed outwards, but my knuckles are actually on the client's head. So basically what I'm doing there, diagonal back, is my longer hair is up the top and my shorter hair is down the bottom. Now the reason why I do that is because graduation is, again, longer to shorter, but I'm following the sections with my fingers. It's actually going, my fingers are coming square off the scalp where my graduation is and where my sections are. So if I section like this through here, just go there, clip all of that out of the way. Again, you can see, obviously, the overhang. I'm going to come through on my section that I've previously cut. I've got my guide underneath, then I've got that. I'm just going to cut straight to it. Same thing here, just going to cut straight to it. Now you'll see already that is already starting to create graduation. Now I'll show you from the front. See where you've got your longer hair to your shorter hair. Now all we have to do is continue that the whole way around the head. So one thing that I think people find tricky coming to this part is how far do we go down the head? So there is no problem going down the head that far, but take your time with your steps. Okay, so even if you want to leave this bottom end, that is fine. The biggest thing you want to do is make sure that the hair is still the same dampness. Because if it's not, this is going to be a nightmare for you. So I'm scooping up again. I've found my guide, which hopefully you can see through there. I'm just cutting to it. I'm not over directing, nothing like that. Just purely cutting to my guide. I'm going to scoop underneath, find my guide, cut. You'll see my finger position the whole time is always the same. Just so you're from the front again. So this is the panel I've cut. I can come underneath. Sorry, my hand position is not going to be perfect here because I want to make sure that you're getting the best angle possible. Now I've got my guide underneath that. As you can see, I'm just going to cut straight to it. The biggest thing is making sure that I stay on the diagonal. If I start to go like this, I'm going to cause block graduation, which is not what I want. So again, I'm going to come through. You can see I'm pulling everything out to my section. I've got my diagonal. I'm just cutting. I'm cutting to that guide. Okay, I'm not just guessing where it is. If the guide isn't there, I go back. My guide is there. Come through. It's going to get tricky, just square this up a little bit more, is when we come to this section. But what we're going to do, similar to our square layers, is pick our same length from here, like what we did with the comb and the square layers, pick it on the other side, and then continue to go the whole way around. So I'm just going to cut to here on my mannequin head, which is the opposite corner. And then I'm going to start from the front again and come around. So as you can see, that is my graduation so far. So I'm just going to continue this side the whole way till I reach this corner. Then I'm going to cut from the front and come back around, and I'll cross-check as well my graduation. Okay guys, so you can see I've done my graduation throughout here. You can see it's really flowing nice. Really happy with that and how that's ended up. You'll also notice when I came to cut in the back of this, I've tilted the head down. Again, I just want that to be more beneficial to myself. The client can move their head for a couple of minutes, right? Joy of here is again, because your fingertips are now going to be pointing towards the scalp and your knuckles are up in the air. You just want to make sure you've got that right length here compared to the other side. So you can jump over the other side and measure on your comb again and cut all of that off. You can see how using this technique would be so beneficial for doing a taper, because you're almost sitting in to where your guideline will go with your clipper work. Hence why I've left this as well. But let's go through this side. Same thing. I just want to show you how I join that first part, and then I'll show you how we connect the back then. So again, if anything's in the way, I want to spray this a little bit more. You can see where my guideline is underneath. I'm just going to cut directly to that. And that's going to keep that swaying motion through there. Again, same through here. We just want to make sure that we're keeping that same technique and coming through this side of the hair. So I'm going to continue cutting this side, then I'll show you how to join up the back. Okay, so you can see now I'm starting to almost overlap where I was cutting. I'm just going to take this final section. Just make sure that I've gone into where I cut previously on the other side. Should hopefully have a little tail. Yep, perfect. Just to cross check is bring this out. Again, if I see any hair on here, I can just cross check and snip that off. Tiniest little amount, which is awesome. It means I actually did my graduation correctly, which is always a bonus. Again, if you're seeing big jumps, then just go back and do your guideline again. If you're coming through and cross-checking and you're like, oh geez, there's a big gap in there, just remember, start again. Go back through and go, cool, let me get my process right. I'm gonna go all of the way back through. We wanna go diagonal back with this also, okay? So we can come across like that. If there's anything overhanging here, we can chop that. Same here, chop that. Now that means that's going to be connected there, and we continue the process down as well, coming from underneath. Perfect. And there's no disconnection now from the top to the sides, which is awesome. Now what we're going to do is put the flat attachment on, and I'm going to use my vent brush, and I'm going to try and not hit this camera out of the way for you guys. I'm just going to come through. Again, like what I said, I wanted to get that kind of sweeping motion through. But now you can see exactly how that is going to set us up for any taper work that we want to do whatsoever. It's the perfect little setup. Even if we just wanted to take this shorter with scissors, blend that in slightly, you can just see where our graduation comes into play there.